the truth. When she smiles at you, she'll say that angels don't lie.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Angels Don't Lie Tuesday. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, Jeanne Street. Today we're going to talk all about She's Got the Answers. So we're going to talk about who she is and how she has all the answers. So if you've tuned into the show before, you're aware that we talk a lot about fear, anxiety, and how to live a spiritually aligned life. I share with you insights from my book, The Goddess You, and the journal, The Goddess You Journal. I also share real life stories from client experiences, healing sessions, and even from time to time, a Facebook Live where you get to hear those live readings. So on today's show, we're going to just tap into the she within. And this is the voice of love. Since we're really well aware of the voice of fear, now we're going to pay attention to that hidden voice, the one that doesn't commonly show up throughout our day. So how do we tap into what she has to say? How do we take it from the fear tones that we are constantly living with and paying attention to, and build the walls of conditioning and structure in our lives, and take those down to really listen to what she has to say about her needs for this life, about her dreams and desires? How do we get back to the truth of who we really are when we've spent all this time building up a life without her really present? So that's what our show is all about today. So recently I did a beautiful workshop. It really was more than a workshop, a seminar, and it was full day seminar with a very dear colleague of mine who I just adore, Lena. And during our Shine event, which is what we call it, it's an experience. It's this, seminar where you get to have this full embodied experience, and we take participants on this journey of connecting with their good girl. This is the inner voice from our childhood who all of a sudden got to a point in her life, and it usually happens around the age of 4, it's typical between 4 and 7, where our life shifts and we become aware of what it means to be good, and we lose the innocence of our purity and our truth of who we are. So what that looks like a lot of times is children become their fears. They become responsible, right? So this was a big word during the seminar. Most of the women that attended felt responsible for the happiness of either their sibling or their parent or somebody around them, or they became unworthy, insignificant, because there was another child welcome into the family, and so their status of where they were had been downgraded because the attention was now on this new being. Now look, this doesn't mean that these are bad things. This is just a highlighted moment to say, where in your childhood did you maybe walk away from that true essence of who you are? So we do this little journaling technique, and I'm going to welcome you to do some exercises during today's show, because at the end of the day, it's all about you. At the end of the day, whatever we put into our life about growing, about evolving, we're going to get back. And that's the investment, guys. If we invest in our wellness, if we invest in our health and our well-being, we're going to get that investment back. So if you're willing to participate, go ahead and grab your journal and we're going to have some fun. Okay, so the plan is I have my beautiful singing bowl, and you have your pen and paper. I'm going to give you a journal prompt, and I'm going to give you a moment to put your pen to the paper and go ahead and free write for as long as you can. Now I'll play the singing bowl, and if you need more time, the beautiful thing is this is a downloadable audio. You can hit the pause button. Perfect. And just as a reminder, if you aren't on my email list, I'd love to invite you to join now, because there's a free meditation that is worth your time and effort to get. It will help to raise your vibration and have you feeling really well rested and open. Okay, enough about that. So we're talking about the inner she. And don't worry if there are males tuning in, this is your he, right? This is the voice within. This is the commonality that we have. We all have the inner voice, and it's either coming from a place of love or a place of fear. So we're going to find that place of love. So what I want you to do is put your pen to the paper, close your eyes, and take a deep breath in. And I want you to imagine yourself as a 5-year-old child. And I want you to embrace this beautiful vision of yourself. Maybe it's of a photograph that you have around the same time. Don't get too hung up and don't get too worried. We're just going to go around the feeling of your 5. And I want you to write down in your journal what it feels like to be your 5-year-old self. What does it feel like to be your 5-year-old self? Allow any words, feelings, and thoughts to pour out of you. There's no judgment. There's no worry. There's no shame. From your head all the way down to your toes, experience your 5-year-old self. What does she look like? What is she doing? How does she dress? Is she aware of her feelings? Where in the family is she? Is she the oldest? Maybe the middle? Maybe the only? What's her favorite thing to do? Does she have a favorite toy? And when you're writing and feeling and thinking about your 5-year-old self, I want you to notice, what does it feel like within your body? Are you stressed? Are you happy? Is it complicated? What's one word you can put on the paper about this 5-year-old child that would represent how she sees the world? Perfect. Put your pen down and let's take a break. So now, let's talk about that child, right? We all have this experience. We've all grown up. Your experience is yours, mine is mine. We all have stories to tell, good, bad, ugly. We have stories. It makes us who we are. We hold our stories very near and very dear. Sometimes we deny our stories and we push them down because of the experiences we've had, or because we've been taught the conditioning that's happened that we don't need to pay attention. We don't need to go there. We need to move on. What is your experience with this? How are you taught to feel about the experiences in your life? Take a couple deep breaths in. We're going to take a deep breath into the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and grab your pen, and I want you to go ahead and write down that word on the piece of paper or in your journal. That word that describes how you view the world as a 5-year-old. There's no right and there's no wrong. So if you're stressing about this, that's not what it's about. It's a simple exercise to show you how conditioning happens. It's no fault of anyone's, right? We're born into families. We're welcomed into life by our loved ones, right? It's a beautiful thing. And the experiences as we come into this life is that we are born into the families that our soul needs to learn from. So whatever those experiences are and whatever that conditioning that's happened, it's not that it's a horrible thing. It's meant to teach you and kind of help you evolve, right? Not hold you back. And I don't mean kind of, it actually is meant to help you evolve. And you're born into this family, right? This crazy, maybe beautiful, maybe loving, maybe not so loving family. You're welcomed as a pure being, a pure light, a pure soul, right? A loving soul, a God soul. So you've come with no baggage, but you're born to people. You come into this family that have had those experiences. Like you at this point in your life, if you could look back and see all of your experiences packaged up, you'd go, wow, that's a lot of stuff I've gone through. Well, that's what happened when you were born. You were welcomed into that energy. Even if you were born and went to an adoption into what is the word? An orphanage. You were still welcomed into an experience of other people's conditioning. So you automatically picked up their conditioning and were taught to think things that weren't of your truest self. This is my point. Your she is hidden behind other people's fears, right? That's the human condition, is paying close attention to that inner voice. She's in there. She's waiting to be heard and seen and validated and loved and respected. She's waiting to be held. What are you waiting for that hasn't come to you yet? Maybe you say the lottery, $1 million. Maybe you're saying it's love. Maybe you're waiting for a baby. Maybe you're waiting to be accepted. What are you waiting for? I want to know. I want you to put your pen to the paper. I want you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. I want you to write it out. I want you to feel it. I want you to hold it near and dear. There's nothing too big or too small that you can put down at this point. Now I want you to put your pen down. I want you to wrap your arms around yourself as if you're holding yourself, as if you're being held by somebody that's adoring you, somebody that knows your heart, that knows your worries, knows your fears, and wants the best for you, and wants to help you to heal and move forward. hold yourself, because you are her. You're the one you've been waiting for. You're the one thing you have control over, right? You have the control over your emotions and your feelings if you choose to follow them. You have the choice to choose love or fear in any given moment. You have the choice to allow her to rise, that beautiful, innocent, loving soul that came to this earth. You're her. She's you. Now let's just take a moment to go back a little bit further in time, to even 3 or 4. And I'll tell you, the experiences I've had working with spirit is that children under the age of 6, most of them, remember what it's like to be with God. They remember. They'll fill you in if you ask them really sweet, innocent questions. What does God look like? Do you see angels? Do you know Jesus? So go back to this beautiful, innocent 3-year-old girl and ask her, do you remember God? Do you remember the purity of where you came from? Do you remember what you most wanted to experience in this life? All children want to experience love, right? It's what they want. And so you're no different. You want to experience love. You crave it. And even if you're acting badly or irresponsibly or angry, even if you're wallowing and sorrowful and guiltful, no matter what you are, you want to be loved. You want to be felt and seen for who you truly are. And here's the ticket, guys. If we aren't loving ourselves, if we can't see her, if we don't let her shine, right, if we don't acknowledge her, then nobody else will see her. Nobody else will pay attention. And we'll be left feeling and longing for love or the lack of it. We'll pay attention to only that what we don't have instead of noticing what we do have. All right, let's do another journal exercise. Go ahead, grab your pen, get your journal ready. Close your eyes for a second. Breathe in through your nose. Bring that breath all the way down to the soles of your feet, the depth of your soul. Feel the expansion in your chest as you release, and immediately bring a new breath in. I am safe. I am loved. I am vibrant. I am me. And now I want you to open your eyes and put your pen to the paper. I want you to put your pen to the paper, and I want you to write down your 3-year-old view on who you are and what you want to experience in this life. There is no right and there is no wrong. There is only you and God. There is only your truth, which no one gets to tell you isn't yours. No one can tell you that you don't deserve, or that you're not worthy, or that isn't for you. If your soul is longing for this, there is a truth. She's speaking to you. She's waiting to be heard and validated. It will never come from an outside source. It will never come from that one person that's caused you pain. It will only come when you acknowledge it. When you say, I'm ready to heal this. I'm ready to claim this. I'm ready to return to love. Really, it's that simple. Perfect. This is busy already. We've done a lot in just a short period of time. So I want you to make sure that you're spending enough time with the journaling, that you've had the experience, that you're feeling connected. And if you need more time, hit that pause button. You're in control. All right, here we go. We're moving and we're shaking now. So she wants to be heard. You know this. We just covered this. She is the one that wants to be validated. She's also the voice of reason, right? She's got your back. She's got it going on. She's crushing life because she knows the things that are best for her soul. The problem is, she's like in jail. She's a prisoner to fear, right? So she can't be heard or seen because that bully, you know the bully, you know the voice that tells you you're not looking good, or maybe you gotta lose a little weight, or who do you think you are wearing those pants, or you better not eat that because you're gonna gain some weight, or you're stupid because you didn't finish college, or if you only you had another job, you could, do this, or if you were a better daughter, we can go round and round and round of how many times we've listened to her over over that love voice, that innocence, that purity, right? We forgot her. We don't know her anymore. That's who I want you to learn to get back to. So how do we do that? How do we uncover that soul part of ourselves that's been hiding, right? She was forced out of the light, pushed down, tackled, probably even beaten up by the that happened in life. How do we heal her? How do we love her? We start with validating our pain. We start by looking at the stories that are constant replaying, or, let me explain that, or the circumstances that keep replaying throughout our life. So, if something keeps replaying, you keep welcoming in the same type of relationships or circumstance, maybe you've had tons of breakups, it's time to tune in and pay attention to why you keep having these happen. Why is this experience replaying itself? It's not because you're a bad person. It's not because you're not deserving, or life is hard and you got the raw end of the deal, or it's just your circumstance or your situation or your lot in life that you have to suffer. When God said everyone can have equal abundance, He wasn't joking. Abundance is meant for everyone, not just a few. So if you're in a place of holding yourself in shame or unworthiness, or maybe even you're grasping and throwing people who do have things under the bus, people that have figured out, oh my gosh, I can align with my abundance. I can be charitable. I can be giving. I can be loving. I can be everything I need to be. And maybe you feel bad. Or maybe you feel bad because it seems like the people in power are toxic and dangerous, and maybe they don't deserve it. And you deserve more because you're kind and generous, but you're going without. Whatever the story is, I guarantee there's a lie in there. I guarantee that there's some untruth that you're believing. Any story that we hold on to that continually plays, that's a cue in that something's gone off, that love does not have our back, that we aren't listening to our beautiful inner light voice, that we're listening to the bully, that we become fear itself. And look, I've talked about this a gazillion times, but we'll talk about it again. Fear's one and only job in your life is to keep you from seeing the light. It's from keeping you from experiencing what God has for you. So if you're in lack, then that dude, he's got you and he's done his job. He's pulled you out of the light. And He's made you believe you're undeserving. I say, go to the light. Call out that darkness. Say, I'm not going to fall for this lie any longer, and try out praying. Try out the miracle moment of looking for love. Try it with gratitude, with authenticity, being holy to yourself, and value yourself. I promise, if you put that time in, you will get that back. Now, I'm not talking about being conceited. I'm not talking about going out and charging up your charge card on a new wardrobe because that's going to make you happy. No, I'm talking about if you need a new outfit, girl, then do what you can afford. And if you can't afford much, then go to the Goodwill and find yourself something that's beautiful that says, I can do this. Go to a thrift market and get yourself a new something so that you feel bright. And while you're going there, be sure to donate something and give back. Because when we give, that's when we receive. But if you live in a constant state of lack, I can't, I haven't, you won't receive. You'll always block it. We have to open that door and feel worthy. We have to open that door so she can shine. We have to open that door so she can express what she feels. Right? So, she is you. She's waiting to come out. She's waiting for you to validate her, to love her. And it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't mean that, hey, if you had some horrible experience growing up, some childhood trauma that's so big and seems so difficult that you can't navigate through it, there is always hope. There is always help. It's just you might not be seeing it. Communication is the number one tool that God has given us. When we can communicate and talk out our issues and talk them out with somebody that can hear them, to really listen and tune in and not offer a judgment or an opinion, rather let us speak and hold us in love, well, then we've been heard. And if you don't have a safe person, your journal is your new therapist. And you write your letters to yourself, saying, here's my pain. And then write your letters to the people that have caused you pain and answer them back in the voice of love. Answer them back, because that will lead you to finding compassion. That will lead you to your forgiveness. The biggest things that hold us right in that state of confusion is when something really big and bad and awful happens to us. We don't want to forgive. We don't understand. If that happened to me, why should I say I'm sorry? If that guy took my child's life, why should I say I'm sorry? If this person hurt me, why do I say I'm sorry and apologize? Well, there's two sides to every story, my friend. I don't have your answers completely. What I do have is what Spirit has shown me time and time again when they've come through in readings and they've validated the person who's sitting in front of me. They validated their pain and they've said, I did not know the pain that I caused. I am sorry for causing that pain. You see, because every soul has a journey, and that journey is to go closer to God. So whether they do it in this lifetime or we do it on the other side, our journey is going to be saying we're sorry no matter what. We're going to be apologizing for the things that have gone wrong. So even though you might not have done a wrong, you're holding onto an unforgiveness is like doing a wrong. Even though you didn't do the act, can you find it in you to release it so it doesn't cause you pain any longer? So it doesn't hold you back from evolving and growing. big lessons, big things, big shenanigans. So I'm going to leave you with this. She's got the answers. She's got your number. She knows your truth. She loves you. God loves you. How do I know? Because angels don't lie. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I wish you a beautiful day. God bless you, and I'll see you next time here on Angels Don't Lie.